Hey guys, this is AdBeezy here. I will be casting a couple of matches here for the folks over at Esports Canada. Just trying to get some content up on the channel, and these are just going to be some ladder games, not huge high-stakes games, but nonetheless, stay tuned. They're going to be pretty good because, of course, we've got some pretty good players playing in them. This is, of course, going to be a ZVP. If you couldn't tell by the title of the video, we have got Liquid Ret spawning as the blue Zerg. In the northernmost position map is, of course, Shattered Temple. And his opponent will be Fnatic MSI JF, who is spawning as the blue, or not the blue, the red Protoss in the southern position. And it looks like we'll have a pylon going up on the high ground here, so no kind of fast forge expand. Overlord going to be doing some scouting, spotting the lack of Nexus here, going to be continuing along his way. Meanwhile, we do have JF going to be scouting in as well. So ZVP on Shattered Temple. This is always a pretty good map. There's kind of the main struggles on this map tend to be focused around these destructible rocks as well as these ones. Very difficult for that Zerg player to balance, getting enough units out to, secure his third base and getting enough drones out to actually be able to saturate that base when he can finally get it up. So we'll see how Ret wants to deal with that. Possibly he might just go for a bust before he has to deal with that, but that's generally the complaint from any Zerg player, really. You can see he's actually going for a pool first build. Not going to take either of his geysers. I love this build so much. You just delay your link speed. If your opponent happens to go forge first, you can even go for a very fast third base over here often. But of course, JF is throwing down his gateway, taking his gas, playing very typical, and he has, of course, found his opponent. So Ret going to go ahead and throw up his gas. Might have wanted to get the hatchery down first, but with that probe showing up to the party here, he knows that JF is the kind of player who will even go as far as to build a pylon down here, if not just, block with his probe. So Ret just continuing to adapt. Of course, one of super fast link speed, but don't really need super fast link speed too much. Meanwhile, there's the gateway finishing off. Looks like a second gas going down before the Cybernetics core. Possibly we'll see a Zella come in. It looks like the probe going to be building that Cybernetics core first. Meanwhile, the probe here just still continuing to keep tabs on everything. Probably going to want to get out of here pretty soon as forward links as well as a Queen are in production. And probe's not going to be any match for those. Might try and just hang out here, be annoying as possible. But once again, with 4 Zerglings out, there's no way you can really block that expansion. And this probe needs to turn around, go home. Should be able to escape as long as he rallies that properly back home. And Ret will just go ahead, take his expansion. He is just about to tick up to 100 gas, and as he does that, pulls the guys off gas. Should be starting that link speed upgrade right now as he does. So just very typical stuff coming up from Ret here. Whereas JF's build hasn't really been exposed too much. That key third building is really what we are waiting to see. Will he go for some kind of Stargate opening, a 3-gate, maybe just a 1-gate expand? The world is his oyster right now, but of note, he did take this second gas geyser pretty quickly, so probably going to see something a little bit more tech-oriented, but possibly just a bit more sentry-heavy. Meanwhile, still no guys on gas. Second Queen coming out, just pumping out a lot of drones, and Ret actually looking like he's a little bit supply capped right now, not with an Overlord in production, so he can't actually use these larvae right now, but yeah, this hatchery not going to pop too soon, so this larva might be a little bit late. Meanwhile, JF just toying with his opponent here. The Zealot did pick off 1 Ling, force the rest back. Meanwhile, an Overlord here ready to scout. Looks like we do have 1 additional gateway getting thrown down. We'll see if he wants to make yet another. Just going to start off with a pylon here to begin with. And Ret getting a very fast third hatchery here. I love this style from Ret. He's really one of the pioneers of doing this. I mean, this hatchery goes down before this one's even finished. That's how fast it is, but I really love that quite a bit, and it looks like a pylon going to be falling up on the low ground, and ooh, Twilight Council, yes indeed, will be a Twilight Council, but will this Overlord be able to get in and see? That's really going to be kind of a huge defining feature, I want to say, or event of how this game is going to play out. If you can see that Twilight Council, he's basically going to know that, of course, it's either Blink or DTs, and that's just a lot of information. There are some charge lot timings that are pretty cool, but I really don't see those too much. Meanwhile, we do have that Evo chamber going down. This is, of course, to prepare for any kind of Stargate play. It looks like he doesn't really want to get in here, so looking pretty good. It looks like it will be that Dark Shrine. This probe getting ready to build it. A lot of gas ready to go. And down it goes. Now, the thing about Ret's build is that Ret's build is designed to be safe against everything. He's got that Evo chamber ready to go here. Now the question is he going to be on the ball? He's scouting here. He sees only 3 sentries, so he's got to be thinking, where's that gas going? And wow, already throwing down a spine crawler. Just absolutely phenomenal play here. You can see a forward pylon in a great position to warp those DTs in nice and close. But the problem is the spore is going to already be up, and this is kind of flashbacks to the GSL, I want to say 4, I'm not sure, but the Inca versus Nesty finals where Inca just was going for DTs and it just kind of wasn't working well because Nesty is such a safe build. So we'll see though. He hasn't actually been able to concretely scout this. We do have the Overlord now getting sacked in. Looks like he will commit here. 1 Stalker warped in here to try and deal with this. He's not really going to get to see too much, and of course that DT shrine way over here, so it looks really much like he won't find it. And meanwhile, Red just continuing to macro up. He's up at 41 drones. He's got 3 hatch production. That Overlord does get taken out, so things are still a little bit ambiguous here. Red might start making a whole bunch of roaches to be safe. He does have that roach worn up, as well as taking more gas geysers and getting his lair, but he still has to really kind of be wondering what's up. He does pop in here, see the Nexus complete. He, of course, already has an Overlord here, so you can see these probes mining. But still quite ambiguous here. Once again, this forward's very late in terms of what often comes out. If it's just a 3-gate, then yeah. But either way, I did miss the 2 DTs warping in. I do apologize. Looks like he will actually be able to deny the 3rd ret. Did manage to take out those rocks, but the DTs are shown, and he just can't really do much. Looks like he might have even poked up and seen that spine there, but I don't think he actually lost any of his DTs, which is very good. He will be able to take out these rocks very quick. DT's 1 unit that is actually good against rocks, but once again, he has done nothing to his opponent's economy. An Overseer is already in production here. The spine, there's even going to be a spine is getting built. The spore already obviously up. This is just a little bit tricky here now for JF. Looks like he might be following this up with a Blink timing attack, but he is taking out these rocks, so it looks like he just wants to get Blink up to help try and be safe. Blink, of course, an upgrade you almost always want in this matchup unless you're doing something goofy like Pure Mass Air. And meanwhile, this DT going to try and be annoying. Ooh, does snipe that drone, which is actually very nice. Rhett would love to have his 3rd base up like a minute and a half ago at least, but and that DT even escapes, which is quite nice. You know, it's a pretty expensive unit. You can always go ahead and make these 2 suckers into an Archon. We do also have a Templar Archives on the way, which is going to be pretty good, especially against the Infestation Pit. Meanwhile, the hatchery is now down. That DT did get picked off. So Red's just going to continue to flow here, feeling pretty good. Up at 74 drones right now. No more in production right now. He might even just decide to stop there. I'm surprised no immediate gas at the goal, but hey, he's Red. He knows exactly what he's doing. And as I say, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's doing the perfect thing here, taking out these destructible rocks. Just absolutely brilliant play. I mean, I don't want a brilliant play. It's just what you do. You take out those rocks so you can get in there, harass. You don't want the Protoss. Basically want him to have to wall this off before he can make the Nexus down here. And that Nexus is going to go down first. But if these rocks get down too fast, a cancel might be forced. Meanwhile, an Overlord getting in, seeing that Templar Archives. So he really knows exactly what's up. Might even be able to see, whoops, the exact unit composition. Ooh, these links haven't actually run in quite yet, so it looks like they will get deflected here. But nonetheless, this is something you kind of have to babysit. Meanwhile, we do have a Spire in production. Looks like he might have just kind of called an audible based on what he scouted. He sees, okay, you're not going for Colossus. I think I want to go for Spire here, which is very interesting. I mean, he knows Blink is up, but maybe he'll just like rush for... I don't know what he's going to do, but he's not getting this pathogen glance, which is very interesting. This Spire, I mean, and not taking these 2 gas geysers, so his economy isn't going to be all that explosive, but of course his mineral income is going to be very massive. And ooh, looks like we're going to get a little link counterattack, and the main is actually wide open here. He can get right in there, no unit getting warped in, and oh man, this is really kind of a game-losing mistake right here from JF. Some DTs getting warped in, actually beautiful. It's one of the strengths of DTs, 3 DTs here. And he's actually going to be able to kill these Lings very quick, but once again, the Lings are kind of disposable, and any lost mining time, any lost probes are just going to widen that gap. And Rhett definitely feeling pretty good. He's got a very solid supply lead right now, and just forcing, you know, these DTs. He would probably rather have High Templar that would be building energy, but he's been forced to make these DTs, and the Lings continue to be knowing, ooh, going to try and pick off a sentry. Looks like he will indeed get it very nice there. and the rest of the links get cleaned up, but nonetheless, we just got tons of more roaches coming in, and Roach is very good. They're quite resilient. Storm isn't that great against them. Archons aren't that great against them, and we might see Ret just try and go for a big bust. He's got that +2 attack almost done. Hasn't used its Spire for anything, interestingly enough. Both the Spire and the Infestation Pit are just kind of there, but he hasn't opted to make any units off them. Looks like he's going to go ahead and expand it here. Still hasn't taken it with his rocks. So, you know, we're kind of seeing this more and more from a lot of Zerg players. They just say, forget it. Those rocks are too much work. And meanwhile, still no SimCity or any, you know, usually you'll see 1, 2, or 3 gateways here and then a cannon or 2 behind. But JF really hasn't been able to allot the resources to that. And wow, Ret maxed out. He's got 56 roaches and he is just going to go for it. He's got that Overseer with his army. He needs to keep that in the back, needs to keep that alive. And he is just going to plow through this army. Not enough force fields at all. Big blink back there, but you know he's going to end up abandoning a lot against the Archon. 2 Templar are getting taken out there, and this just smells like trouble. Oh my god, no Observer with the army. There's actually only just now a robotics facility starting. So this blink is just going to be unstoppable. There are cannons at the Nexus, but that is about it. And you know what? The upgrades are just so good. Those Roaches benefit a lot more from that +2 attack than these Stalkers. Of course, the Roaches do much higher burst damage. And these Stalkers are just in constant retreat here. Only 1 pylon powering these cannons. He could opt to focus that down, but he can kind of just let the units attack as they want to because he's got so many roaches. He's got such a solid economy. He's getting that hive. He's really all over the place. And you can see just more units streaming out. I think he knows he's got this game won, and JF will need to tap out pretty soon here. He's been crippled. We do have a little bit of a Ling counterattack that will get cleaned up, but once again, the real story is the 80 bajillion roaches. I mean, we got a maxed out Ret against a 60 supply JF. That is pretty GG, and there it is, GG coming up from JF. So I hope you guys enjoyed this cast. We're just trying to get some content up on these channels. So once again, I am Adabeezy. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace out.